All right, let's dive into one of the most influential and, frankly, terrifying novels ever written, George Orwell's 1984. Together, we're going to pull apart the chilling world he built, look at the scary smart ways the government controls everyone, and follow one man who dared to wonder if things could be different. Right from the very first line, you know something is just off. Clock's done strike 13, right? That one little detail throws you off balance immediately. Orwell is telling us, hey, you're not in Kansas anymore. This is a world where even time itself is bent out of shape.
So where are we? We're in a massive superstate called Oceanica, and the person we're following through this nightmare is a guy named Winston Smith. This is his life. This is his home.
I want you to just imagine for a second, living in London. Only now it's called Airstrip 1. And everywhere you look, there are posters. Not ads for cars or sodas, but a giant poster of a man's face with the words, "Big Brother is watching you." Every single thing you do, every word you mutter, even the look on your face is being watched. Privacy? That's not even a word people remember anymore.
And this surveillance is absolutely everywhere. You've got telescreens, kind of like a TV that watches you back, in every single room, and you can't ever turn them all the way off. Then there are the thought police, who aren't looking for criminals, they're looking for people who think the wrong way. But the scariest part? Kids are turned into spies, trained to listen at the door and report their own parents for any little slip-up. There is no escape.
Okay, so watching everyone is one thing. But the real terrifying genius of the party is how they get inside your head. It's a full-on psychological war, and they fight it with three main weapons: a new kind of crime, a brand new language, and a twisted new way of thinking. First up, thought crime. This is the big one. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to say anything. Just having a rebellious thought pop into your head makes you guilty. And the punishment? It's not just death, it's vaporization. They erase you. Every record, every photo, poof, it's like you were never even born. So, how do you stop people from having those dangerous thoughts in the first place? Well, you take away the words they need to form them. That's Newspeak. The idea is devastatingly simple. If a word like freedom doesn't exist anymore, how can you even think about the concept of being free? You can't. You make rebellion literally unthinkable. And all of this is held together by something called doublethink. Now this one's a real mind bender. It's the ability to hold two totally opposite ideas in your head at the same time and believe both of them are true. To know the party is lying about the past, but also to believe that the party's new version is the only truth that ever existed. It's basically a form of controlled insanity. You can see this war on reality perfectly in Winston's day job. He works at a place with the creepiest, most ironic name ever, the Ministry of Truth, and his job isn't to report the truth, it's to destroy it.
Here's how it works. Say the party predicted something that didn't happen. Winston gets the old newspaper, rewrites the article, and then drops the original down a tube called a memory hole where it's burned to ash. The new version becomes the only version. The past is whatever the party needs it to be today.
And these lies aren't just about ancient history. It's constant. The telescreen will shout about how the Ministry of Plenty has worked miracles, how boot production is through the roof and everyone is better off than ever.
But Winston knows. He's on the inside. He knows they probably didn't make any boots. He knows people are literally going barefoot. And that massive gap between the official truth and the reality he can see with his own two eyes, that's the little spark that starts his rebellion.
Because you see, it's not enough for them to just lie to you. The ultimate goal is to smash the very idea of objective truth. If the party says 2 + 2 = 5, then it does. And Winston realizes that real freedom, the only freedom left, is just the freedom to say that 2 + 2 make 4. But even in a world this suffocating, the human desire to be free just doesn't die. And Winston's not the only one pushing back. He meets a woman named Julia, and her idea of rebellion, well, it's a whole lot different than his. For Winston, the most rebellious thing he can possibly do is buy a diary and write down his real thoughts. It's a rebellion of the mind. For Julia, it's much more direct, more human. It's a crumpled note secretly passed to him with just 3 words on it, a totally forbidden act. And they are coming from completely different places. Winston is all about the big picture. He's thinking about history, about truth, about bringing down the whole system for some future generation. He basically thinks he's already a dead man. Julia? She could not care less about all that. She just wants to have fun, to feel good, to be happy right here, right now. She breaks the rules for the sheer joy of it. But here's the brutal truth of Oceania. It doesn't matter if your rebellion is for grand political reasons or just for personal pleasure. All roads lead to the same grim destination, a place with no windows, a place that's always lit, the Ministry of Love.
And it's here, in this awful place, that Winston's torturer, a man named O'Brien, finally explains the party's grand purpose. And it's absolutely chilling. They're not doing this for some greater good. They're not trying to build a better world. No. The reason is much simpler. They just want power. Pure, total, absolute power for its own sake.
O'Brien then paints this unforgettable, brutal picture of what that future looks like. It's a world built on suffering, because making people suffer is the ultimate expression of power. Power isn't the road to somewhere else. Power is the destination. The boot on the face isn't a side effect, it's the entire point.
You see, the Ministry of Love doesn't want to create martyrs. They want to create converts. Their goal isn't to kill you, it's to break you down and rebuild you into someone who doesn't just obey the party, but genuinely loves it. And for Winston, that final conversion happens in one last, terrible room.
Room 101. It's the end of the line. And what's inside is different for every single person. It's tailored to you. It's your deepest, darkest, most primal fear. It's the one thing in the universe you absolutely cannot handle. They find that last little part of you that's still you, and they use it to destroy you. For Winston, that fear is rats. And when they bring them towards his face, his love for Julia, the one pure, true thing he thought he had, it just vanishes. He snaps. He screams for them to torture her instead of him. And in that second, his spirit is completely shattered. To save his own skin, he betrays his own soul.
And this is the end. They release him, a completely hollowed-out man. He's sitting in a cafe, and when a news report about a party victory comes on the telescreen, a tear of pure, genuine joy rolls down his cheek. The process is complete. He won the victory over his old self. He loves Big Brother. The state has won.
And that leaves us with a terrifying question at the very heart of this book, a question that feels more urgent today than ever. The real horror of 1984 isn't just the torture or the surveillance, it's the death of truth itself. It makes you ask, if a lie is pushed so hard and so long that everyone comes to believe it, what's the difference between that and reality?